Ladies and gentlemen, I consider it an honor to be standing beside my brothers and sisters from First Nations, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Musqueam, and all of you, and represent Mayor Corrigan and our council and all citizens of Burnaby. As soon as the application by Kinder Morgan was applied for the expansion of this project, for the expansion of the Kinder Morgan pipeline, City of Burnaby was out the gate right away with the help of our citizens to oppose that project. Because we looked at the proposal. When you look at the proposal, you quickly understand that this was nothing to do for our community or our region. Every drop of that additional oil was destined to go overseas. All of that to support already rich, powerful, international, multinational companies, oil companies and shippers. No benefits for the local community, all the rest for us. So there was no way we were going to support that. We knew this project had everything that possible risk that will cause, including the shipping of oil through tankers. From 6 or 7 tankers that leave now, that number will grow to over 30 every month. Every day there'll be a huge tanker leaving Westridge Terminal. Westridge Terminal from 1 berth is being expanded to 3. So you can't tell me that there will not be an accident sometime somewhere in the broad inlet while crossing 2 bridges. At least the kind of thing that we know, we have already proven that this is the most critical, very difficult oceans to really travel through tankers, but that's what they want. Then store 5.7 million barrels of oil 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, right in a dense urban part of urban center in North Mainland. So the project itself makes no sense. We know, and you know that. That's why the opposition. And we understand why Kinder Morgan wants that, why Trans Mountain wants that. They only do it because it's for money. This is not for the benefit of us, and that's their job, and we understand that. But then the governments have a responsibility to make sure that the projects like that go through proper, careful environmental assessment, proper process of public hearing, and proper process of consultation with the First Nation and us and everyone else. And when that was stated, it became obvious that previous government rigged the process so the projects can go very quickly. We know that, and we told them that. So along comes another party, Liberal Party, at that time, their leader recognized the difficulty of getting that project through, recognized the drawbacks of the process, recognized how NEB, the board itself has been politicized. So he made promises before the election. At that time, the Liberal leader, and now the Prime Minister, said that we will modernize the board, recognizing that board does not represent regional representation. It doesn't have the expertise about the environmental science, and most importantly, it doesn't know anything about Aboriginal, Indigenous, traditional way of doing things. So he agreed. He also agreed that the process itself wasn't very transparent, and the process needs to be changed to include environmental assessment. And above all, Prime Minister Trudeau said that the governments grant permits, but the communities grant permission. That's a social license he spoke of. So they recognize the process isn't good. They recognize the NEB board needs modernization. They recognize there's no social license. Why are the hearings going on? So for us, that promise made by the Prime Minister is a broken promise. He should have been smart enough about the whole situation to say, I made the commitment that we wanted to stop these hearings before they start. And if they recognize the hearings, if they recognize the process isn't good, why would you put one more major pipeline project through the old process before you bring a new one? It's just a question that they haven't answered. So Mayor Corrigan wrote 2 letters, one in November, one in January, to Prime Minister Trudeau, urging him to suspend these hearings. Well, we haven't heard anything back. We haven't heard anything about what they plan to do. This is, in spite of the opposition right across the country, this is in spite of the opposition too, from the city, Lower Mainland, as well as the provincial government. But the hearings are continuing. They call this a public hearing, but that's a misnomer. There's no public in there. There isn't any. Public hearing minus the public. So, you, as concerned citizens, are not allowed to go in there. For those who are allowed to go in there, aren't able to cross-examine anything. You just simply say what you want to say, and they will maybe listen to you and think about this. You can send your objection in writing, or you can speak, but you cannot question. You could not question or bring the evidence to cross-examination or ask how they got that their business license, or at least their business case about this project, about the jobs they're saying, about the money for everyone, about how they're going to present, how they're going to protect us. When we ask if they have a plan to respond to a spill, to respond to fire, to respond to spill any ball over, they said they couldn't share that with us. It's a proprietary information. Can you imagine us? It's basically saying, well, trust us. We have something, but we won't tell you. We asked them for the route. They still haven't decided. Well, they have options. So you're having a hearing without really knowing the final route. You have the hearing without really knowing what the plans are. So what do you think is being done? It's just basically a roughshod over the citizens of this country, over First Nations, over people who live here. And City of Burnaby opposes that. City of Burnaby stands with you. Will continue to fight. Will continue to fight every inch of the way to this project. So I know you're here. You're opposing. And I call on Prime Minister Trudeau to listen to you. And he should listen. You know why? Because it's 2016. Thank you.